Welcome to a brand new podcast. And as always, this is the Oracle 19. And my name is Mr. Greatness. If for any business inquiries, if you want to put your business on this platform, we definitely could promote you. You can just email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. Same email if you want to donate, make a free will offering. Any amount will be suffice through our PayPal account. That's evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. And we have different links to other affiliates. www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. So you definitely can support us that way. And we do have a Patreon channel, which we have videos that's not posted on YouTube. www.patreon.com/evolutionoflondon. You will find also digital artwork, and we do consulting services as well. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is www.evolutionoflondon.com. You'll find a whole wide range of different products: men's, kids, ladies' clothes, jewelry, artwork, and much more. So that's evolutionoflondon.com. Also, you can check us out at evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. There you'll find custom clothes, accessories, ebooks for personal as well as business use. So that's evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. And finally, evolutionoflondon.store. You'll find lotions, soaps, DVDs, and more clothing. So that's evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles, 100% soy wax candles from scented to unscented. Now the scented candles is from frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, eucalyptus, rose, vanilla, just to name a few. And if you want to place an order, you can email the company at royalty9international@gmail.com. You can also find them through social media, that's TikTok as well as Instagram, Royalty9 International. Luxury candles, over 35 plus hours of burning times. And I do have samples myself, so it's very good quality. Again, that's Royalty 9 International. Music. Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. We have a whole wide range of different beats. So once you go to his social media platform, like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And continuing train on YouTube is the Greatness 19 channel, as we approaching 700 shows to open up your third eye. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to the Greatness 19 channel, the hidden gem of knowledge. And Mr. Evolution of London, that's our health and wellness channel. I need your guys to support that as well as we grow on that channel. It's Mr. Evolution of London. Just treat that as one word. So Mr. Evolution of London on YouTube, our health and wellness channel. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. So if you want to book a consultation, you can email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. Again, that's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And also you can support his merchandise. That's www.wjaccessories.com. Again, that's www.wjaccessories.com. for custom clothes, accessories, and digital artwork as well. DJ Panthro, he's an international DJ, so if you want to book for him to come to your venue, email djpanthro519@gmail.com. That's DJ Panthro, Panthro 519@gmail.com. And also support his social media platform by like, subscribing, and sharing to DJ Panthro 519 on YouTube. And you can follow him on Instagram, TikTok, DJ Panthro, and his bonus platform on TikTok is The Real DJ Panthro. That's The D-A Real DJ Panthro on TikTok. Cindy's Place. She has custom clothes, accessories, and digital artwork as well. And her email is www.cindysplace.org. O-R-G. Again, that's www.cindysplace.org. Now, the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify for podcasters, Google, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, just to name a few. So any information I haven't mentioned will be in the description box of the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London. Both of those is on YouTube. Rumble.com. Just type in the Oracle 19. And finally, www.oracle19radio.com. Well, as usual, always want to get the business aspect of things out the way, and always give my perspective/opinions on a lot of things. Sometimes, as you know, it could be triggering, but this one is about, is cannibalism popular? Is cannibalism popular today? Now, just in case you don't know what cannibalism is, because I know some of you individuals in different parts of the world that is listening to me, basically, it is people that eat human meat, human flesh. Human beings eating human flesh. Is that something we should worry about today? I think personally, there's a section of people, groups of people worldwide that eats human meat for whatever purposes, whether it's a ritual thing or a tribal thing. But you do have humans that eat human meat. And you can find that throughout social media. Different tribes throughout the world. Especially if you find in places in Indonesia or the islands of Indonesia. I believe the Papa Islands, P-A-P-U-A, Papa Islands, that's near, I'm pronouncing it wrong, so forgive me. And that's the surrounding areas near that island is the Philippines and Australia, the South Pacific. And you have different tribes that still eat human meat for whatever tribal reason, whether it's when they're dealing with their enemy, defeating their enemy, they'll eat the human flesh, and their reasoning is they want to absorb the enemy's energy. It's a whole variety of different reasons why people eat raw meat or human meat. And also, there's a fine line to those type of beings that eat just raw meat in general. In my personal opinion, if you got people that just like eating raw meat, my question for me to you, isn't that one step just closer of just eating human meat? If they could eat raw meat with no problem, raw animal meat, wouldn't that be just a cousin away of eating human meat? I'm saying that again so it can soak in. What about people that drink blood, human blood? Isn't that a step away of cannibalism? Again, you got different beings on this planet Earth, and that's something that we have to realize as citizens. Just like you have different animals in the animal kingdom, such as lions. Lions is different from elephants. They eat differently. Giraffes eat differently from tigers, and tigers eat differently from rhinoceroses, hippopotamuses. I know I'm being funny here, but the bottom line is animals eat differently. So what makes you think humans is not the same? We have different, from different colors, different shades, different backgrounds, different ideologies. This is why you have to be careful who you procreate with. Elephants don't procreate with giraffes. Giraffes don't procreate with tigers. And that could be very applicable. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but that could be very applicable for us human beings, because people genetically not only think differently, but they eat differently, they smell differently, they have different, their environment, their background, their religious point of view, blah, 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 I could go on, is different. And not all people can mesh together genetically. Now, I know you're going to say, well, I could date whoever I want to date. Yeah, you could procreate whoever you want to procreate with. I don't have a problem with you with that, per se. But I'm just saying, genetically, know that you are different. And this is why you got certain beings out here, human beings out here, that love meat. I'm getting to meat, and then I'm going to get deeper with the cannibalism. But they love meat. You got people here that love meat. And you got to realize the type of nature they are. And then you got people not only that love meat, but they love raw meat. They can eat raw meat and have no problem, because their nature is different from yours. Like, I don't have that taste for raw meat, me personally. But I know people that have that taste. They can eat raw meat with no problem. So you got to know who you with. This is just how it goes. You have people out here that can drink human blood and have no problem. They love it. They bathe in it, literally. And that takes me to the cannibalism. Don't think, my people that is listening to this channel, we got people, all different types of people they can handle it. Like, I couldn't handle the human blood. I don't have a taste for that. But people, you have different beings that's their diet. That's what they do. And you have a lot of people in high places that is about that cannibalism. Look, Jeffrey Dahmer was taking body parts and eating it. That was just one of many people in the USA as well as different parts of the world that's about eating humans. And probably could eat humans raw. You got people like that. Don't think that's so far-fetched. You might say, Mr. Greatness, that don't even sound right. But don't think it's flesh. Let me tell you something. A lot of times what you see in movies, the stories of Dracula, or you see horror movies where people eating flesh. There was something in the early, like around 2012 in Miami, in Florida, that I think it was Miami, but just say Florida, where a man was on drugs, but allegedly it was on that bath salts, which is basically a drug that makes you just hallucinate and go crazy. But they said allegedly, they said media, they said that and it showed a live picture of a guy eating a man live on TV. It was on. You can Google this. It was eating another human raw, just chewing his head. And they showed pictures of the aftermath. The guy had to have major surgery, lost one eye, blah blah blah. But even if you on, let's say, that type of drug, can it really make you get to that point unless you have that in you? Because we have a tendency when we take alcohol and drugs, it just brings out our inner spirit, our true feelings, our true way of life, our true nature. But I'm not going to get into deep in terms of that part. But my point is, you have people that are cannibals, certified cannibals. And it could be your school teacher, it could be your doctor, it could be your lawyer. And when you go on with history, Europeans from the Caucasus Mountains, they was on that time. They was on that time of cannibalism. You Europeans was on that time of 100% on cannibalism. This is known history. Europeans was all on that time in their barbaric stages. So that genealogy still don't leave these Europeans bloodline. Am I saying all and every? Of course not. But the genealogy still runs even into this modern day time. Ask Jeffrey Dahmer and other Europeans. So my question I'm asking you, if you able to eat raw meat, and that's not only Europeans, because see, due to the fact you have other races, black folks included, of course, that have that same mentality. Because you have black people, tribes, bushmen and women, that is about cannibalism. That's just how it goes. And I gave you example of the people from the Papa Islands or Papua Islands. I'll chop up that name, Papua, And like I said, that's in the South Pacific. Those people are dark skinned. And they about that. There's tribes there, not all the tribes, but there's certain tribes that's about cannibalism. And they look like you and I. They're not necessarily our people per se, but they are dark skinned. That's where I'm getting at. There's not only Europeans that's about cannibalism, even though they are number one for that nature. And even when you see in North America, they don't make it against the law, because in U.S. and Canada, it's just that gray area. They have a gray area, but it's not totally illegal. There's loopholes within European nations and North America where cannibalism still can make its way. And let's be for real, there's people, there's even entertainers that's about that life, drinking blood. If you drinking human blood and you able to eat raw meat from different animals, you just a cousin away. I'm using that terminology. You just a cousin away from eating human flesh, raw human flesh, in my opinion. I use that, in my opinion, to soften the blow. We live in a society like that. I'd be surfing the web, and they have even throughout history what they call medical cannibalism. And they use the word medical cannibalism or medicinal cannibalism. I thought it was some type of weed when I first read up on it. It's basically the consumption of parts of the human body, dead or alive. You can look this up. And they have they call it medicinal cannibalism because they said eating the human body can prevent diseases. The medical trade and pharmaceutical use of human body parts and fluids, like the blood, basically blood. And they justify saying believe that eating human flesh can heal yourself. And in secret societies, they also use this, allegedly, to help when you have bruises on the body. They grind up the skulls and put in as teas to supposedly help migraines. Medicinal cannibalism, or another word, medical cannibalism. I call it justification. To me, is insanity. And it's been throughout Europe. Ancient Romans had this philosophy of medical cannibalism. It traces all the way back to ancient Rome, where the wounded gladiators, soldiers, sometimes drunk, the blood of their enemies, supposedly to help cure them. This happened it's been going on in the all the way like the 16th centuries, where it was in Germany and France and Italy and England, all throughout Europe. Cannibalism. Even in China. And you can see the Asians, they eat differently. For, let's say, black people as a whole, especially in North America. I can't speak of the black people that is in the tribes of Africa. I can't speak on that. And I'm not going to speak on that. just dealing with North America. But you can see Asians, they have their own foods. They eat differently. Even leading to this day. And it's justified for medical purposes, to heal. There's dynasties that was about that life. The Tang dynasty, T-A-N-G. The Tang dynasty. They was about cannibalism. That's just one example. Like in 600 BC, that type of thing. Just going by memory, something like 1615 or 1618 BC, something like that. But you could look it up. You could Google this information. Even in the mid-90s in Hong Kong, Asians, they had the black market where certain traders will use the feces of humans as well. Not only that, but the fetuses. That's really what I wanted to say. The fetuses, and it was used for eating, because a lot of people want to get, just like how we like to eat young chickens versus eating old chickens, because older chickens will be more prone to carry diseases, where you get a fresh young chicken, the benefits is much more healthier. Well, they have that concept with fetuses. They rather eat the fetuses versus old 60-year-old bodies that most likely have sugar problems and other ailments. So I'm just using that as an example. So it's different people all throughout history was all about that cannibalism life. And you're wondering if it's not prevalent today? People take placentas, the afterbirth of mothers, and they use it for all different types of things. Once it goes to the hospital and is disposed, don't think those placentas is just dumped in the garbage and that's it. A lot of it going into laboratories where they do different experiments, aka cloning, allegedly, or using other, making it into hair grease so you can put in your hair, which has been known that placentas, or I should say allegedly, been used for hair grease, mixed in with that. And there's a company actually named Clear Labs, Clear, C-L-E-A-R, Clear Labs, and they based out of California. They take certain meats like burgers and hot dogs, and they do studies, testing. It's a testing company, and they sample different burgers and meats and all over randomly. And they found that 3 burgers had not only rat DNA, but then there was one case that had human DNA in it, allegedly. So what they saying, allegedly, that there's certain companies that make burgers and hot dogs. They take DNA extractions and mix it into their burgers and hot dogs. Not all companies do it, but there's certain companies. Now, they wouldn't name it. You probably have to do more investigating and contact the company and so forth. You have to do your due diligence. But we're just going to say allegedly, because the companies would definitely deny that. But Clear Labs, that's what they do, is a testing company, and they do test that. Again, we'll say allegedly. So I would not be sued or anything, because I got no money to give you anyway. So, but still, they would want to take my $1 that I saved over 50 years. Well, not that long, I'm exaggerating. 30 years. My $1 that I accumulated. But the point I'm making is that if that is true, then they trying to slowly change our DNA. They, meaning people that making these foods, and it's sanctioned by the government. That's who I'm saying they is implementing us slowly to eat anything but pure animal meat. They want us to introduce us to human DNA to slowly give us that appetite of eating human flesh or rat DNA, things like that. But here's the thing, is that far-fetched though? Is that far-fetched in this day and time that our foods have these DNAs? Because this society that we live in, this government, or elitist society, I should say, is very diabolical, very evil. To implement certain things, is that far-fetched? That's my question for me to you. Something for you to think about. So the question is, you're going to say, well, Mr. Greatness, what can we do? Detox your body every month? Because when you're eating this street meat, this hot dogs and all this other stuff, let's be for real, we eating wild stuff. We don't know, with all the chemical enhancements in it. Now, I'm a little bit off of the topic of the cannibalism, but I'm going to bring it back. The bottom line is you have to be careful what you're eating. But this is what's out here. And you can Google that about the different countries that have certain tribes that eat raw meat to this day. And your governments throughout European society, they don't say necessarily illegal. Yeah, if you outright just grabbing up the body and killing it and then chopping it up, yes, that's illegal, right? But let's say, for example, I was just trying to think of an example you can give. Let's say you're going to the black market and importing your human flesh. Would the government say that's wrong? Is it anywhere in the legal system? That's when it becomes gray area, which means that they sanction it to a certain degree. You just can't outright grab up a regular body and chop it up and then eat it. That's, they say that's illegal. That's a criminal act because you're doing murder. But if you import it that's already dead from a different country into here and you're using it like your turkey that you stuff it in the freezer, is that illegal? Do they have that in the legal system? That's when it becomes a gray area, which shows that it's sanctioned to a certain point. This is what it is. You have different beings that is all about that life. They drink human blood, they eat flesh, and then we don't know in these secret societies what they do as well. Here in America, you have different cities, all different communities, different people, as I mentioned, that this is what they do. In your major cities, they drink human blood just like if you're drinking alcohol. Go and Google it. There's BBC News, www.bbc.com, and there's / that and talk about human blood. And in my opinion, if you're getting into that, that's pretty much you a cousin of getting right into the actual flesh. Because the human flesh and the human blood, that's one and the same. Don't just think as it actually being meat versus liquid. The blood is important. The blood that keeps the actual flesh going. So if you got the blood, you drinking the human blood, you basically eating the flesh too. So don't get yourself out of that mindset of thinking that it's only just blood. These movies that you see, it has 90% falsehood, but there's a level of truth in it. When you see these movies like Dracula and all of these horror movies, it tells you about there's beings out here that's about that life. And you are the one that is procreating with these particular beings, and you can imagine your offspring, what your offspring would be. Just keep that in mind. So you have to know who you procreate with. There's articles all over Google that talk about cannibalism. So what I'm talking about is not something new. And then we're not even talking about you have serial killers allegedly. Well, not allegedly. You do have serial killers. And I use Jeffrey Dahmer. He was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. And the sex offender on top of that. He used to dismember males. And this was going from 1978 all the way up to 1991. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. So you got people like that as well. You got a lot of people all throughout that is about that life. They're not good, what I call good cannibals. So keep that in mind. You gotta keep that in mind. It's a real thing out here, and it is popular within certain communities and certain secret societies. You don't think the satanic societies is not about that life? They show you that on movies. You don't think they're about that life? Cannibalism, drinking human blood. There's type in the secret societies of Satan. There's a whole bunch of churches all throughout the United States, all throughout the world. What do you think they're doing? Allegedly. You don't think they're about that life? Of course they're not going to tell you. But okay, you say the movies, watching those movies is just movies. But you don't think it's not in real time? You'd be very close-minded to not think it's not occurring in these societies. And in Hollywood, you don't think these actors that you yearn and die for and thinking they so cute and handsome and all of that, a lot of them, not all of course, when they're part of these secret societies, allegedly, you don't think they're about that life neither? Be careful who you praise. You don't think it's far-fetched that your neighborhood teacher, your nurse, your doctor, your lawyer, you think all of them is innocent and pure? You think all of them it's not about cannibalism? I mean, none of them. I'm talking about all throughout the North America. You can't even find one. You have different beings out here. That's the bottom line. You have different beings out here. So nothing is far-fetched. Don't think things is far-fetched. It's not, just don't. Because again, just like you have different people, let's say this again. Just like you have different animals in the animal kingdom, you have different humans. Some that will eat is about eating vegetables, or I should say vegetarians. Some that just eat maybe animal meat, which is most of us because we eat cows and chickens and turkey and stuff. So we already been introduced with that. But then there's a certain another group of beings that's about that human flesh. So what say you? Thank you for listening.